Welcome to Live with LA. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning in the city of Trenton, and to my right is Khadijah Bennett. We'll get to her in a minute, but if you're checking out the front page of the Trentonian this morning, you see that Mayor Tony Mag owes some money on back taxes for an abandoned property in the East Ward on Hampton Avenue, and it's not about the taxes. It's not about the money. It really isn't. It's about a house that's been abandoned for 8 years, burned out for 8 years. That's what it's about. So the mayor's going to pay the taxes for sure. It's about $1,300. He'll pay it, and the house will continue to be abandoned, and that's not what the city should be about. I'm writing a column for tomorrow that suggests that the mayor, or says the mayor, should get on a bulldozer and go over there and knock the property down and end some of the blight that's deteriorating the city of Trenton. It's not about the money. It's not about the taxes. It's about doing the right thing and getting this property knocked down, and so some of the people living over in that community can enjoy seeing empty space rather than that piece of burned out property that the mayor owns. It's embarrassing. To my right, Khadijah Bennett, how are you?
Good.
Good. If you watched Freedom Show on Monday, he had a 13-year-old poetry champion, or second place finisher maybe, well, a poetry writer in the city of Trenton on the show. To my right is Khadijah Bennett. She actually won a poetry contest at Joyce Kimmer School. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
That's good. I'm so glad that your mom picked up the phone and called me and told me your story, and she's a champion for you and your talents. And we wanted to have you on and have you talk a little bit, have you read some of your poetry.
Yes.
So how long have you been writing poetry?
I've been writing poetry since the 4th grade.
And how do you pick your subject matter?
I really don't pick subjects. It's more of, instead of expressing my feelings to others and getting myself into trouble, I just feel like it should be written down on paper.
What are some of the topics you take on?
My life, my father being in and out of my life, some of the struggles I've been through as going into being a teenager.
When did you start writing about your father?
I started writing about my father 6th grade.
And the feelings were?
Bad feelings.
Yeah.
Because he was in and out of my life for many years, and I just feel like he tries to play, the good dad, and I just feel like he needs to hear, how I'm feeling deep down inside.
Let's talk about some of those feelings. Father's Day's coming up in about 10 days or so. What are some of the feelings you're having about your dad?
I feel like
and not thoughts now. I'm talking about feelings.
Hurt. A lot of pain, a lot of disgust in my heart. And that's about it.
Did you ever? You've written some things about that?
Yes.
Do you have a poem that you wrote about?
Yes.
Let's hear that poem.
This is called "Finally a Healed Wound." The tears that I cried in front of you was a gift that needed to be given. Every salty drop of tear I left for you to swim in. Agony to the head. I begged myself to take an aspirin, but in my mind, I couldn't force myself to keep on asking. The touch of your hand on my shoulder felt so fake, so cold. So
Can I stop you for 1 second? Let's start over.
Yes.
And let's go a little bit slower, because the words and the feelings are powerful. I can hear it.
Yes.
But just take your time. All right? All right? Go ahead. Let's start over.
Finally a healed wound.
And nice and slowly.
The tears that I cried in front of you was a gift that needed to be given. Every salty drop of tear I left for you to swim in. Agony to the head. I begged myself to take an aspirin, but in my mind, I couldn't force myself to keep on asking. The touch of your hand on my shoulder felt so fake, so cold, so unreal. Hating you for faking the word real. Peeling back your fingers from my skin was so easy to do. Feeling his rough skin, Lord, if only he were in my shoes. Curled up in my covers, cold, lost, and alone. Thought about death and what I wanted on my stone. Daddy couldn't have, or isn't enough money in the world to buy my childhood back. All I ever wanted was to be daddy's little girl. Dark thoughts, laying in the night. Hated to think of you, my mind put up a fight. And when you reach out to give me a hug, I couldn't help but notice this big black hole. I saw right through your shirt and right through your soul. You were so unreal.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Thank you.
Man, where do those words come from?
A lot of hurt, a lot of hurt. Sometimes I don't even think that I have it in myself, but when I'm so hurt and I'm so mad from the time he didn't show up and he hurt me so bad, I just feel like he needs to hear it.
What's that like, as a child, to expect your dad to be at an affair that you're having, right? Or a birthday party, right?
Yeah.
And his promises that he would be there, right?
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to do that, I just feel like don't be in my life at all. Don't tell me you're going to come and tell me you're going to show and I don't see you for a whole nother 2 years. And you're going around town saying that you see me and you do a lot of things for me when you don't. So I was really hurt by that.
A lot of fathers and men don't understand that it's not about the money or anything else. It's more about the contact, right?
Yes.
And the showing up and the being there,
yes.
right? It's so important. You know, we can always figure out the money part. Friends of mine always tell me that if you got money problems, you don't really have any major problems, because if that's all you got, you can always make money. But there's this thing called time well spent, and there's this thing called family, and there's this thing called daughters and sons and quality time that more men in the city of Trenton and other places need to start devoting to their kids. You don't get this time back. And I think most people can hear the hurt in your words. So how do you deal with all the hurt?
Pretty much writing, or I'll go to my mom or some of the siblings that I have that are there for me and that don't bail out on me. So yeah, that's pretty much.
And is it difficult to put yourself out there and put your feelings out there? And do you worry about responses and what people think?
Absolutely not, because quite frankly, I don't really care what people think. I feel like it's the message behind it. I don't really feel like people should bash of what I say because I'm speaking the truth.
Do you cry when you write?
Sometimes, because I feel like it gives more feeling to the writing. If you don't have any feeling, it doesn't have to even be crying. It could be laughing, joking, playing around. It could be anything. I feel like it depends on, you have to be in a certain mood to write that certain kind of poem.
You know the saying, sticks and stones
Yes.
may break my bones,
Yes.
but words will never hurt me.
Yes.
It's, you know, that statement's not true, right? Words hurt.
They do.
And they're powerful.
Yes.
You know, I'm a writer. Words are a powerful way of expressing oneself, and it's so wonderful that you have the gift. Sometimes, you know, we go through difficult times, and although difficult, they can lead us to fantastic and a dynamic life. And you have to see a silver lining in some of the difficult times we go through. Yeah, they're bad, but man, they can lead us to a fantastic healing. And I can see that in your words. You're well on your way to finding that promised land. So what's your relationship with your dad right now?
We don't really have a relationship. I haven't seen him in about 2 years, almost 2 years. So the last time I talked to him, he told me he was going to come and see me and spend time with me, and it's been almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of things have happened in 2 years, right?
Yes.
And so what kind of student are you?
I am.
I always ask.
I'm a good student. I am. I'm not really the quiet type. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very outspoken. I'm an AB student, sometimes C's, but I work my hardest to keep my grades up because I've also ran track in 7th grade.
Okay.
And I've ran track this year at Joyce County.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You know, education is the winner, right?
Yes.
I try to tell everybody that I see, every young person I see, that if you commit to getting a good education, that if you learn to read at a very early age, that you continue to express yourself and continue to show up and go to school, that you can be a champion. I don't care what situation you're in. I'm going to tell this story because it's one of the greatest stories I can tell about my family. I have a brother named Kenny who was a maintenance man at Atlantic City Electric Company. He grew up to become the president of Atlantic City Electric Company.
Oh, wow.
He used to cut the grass, do maintenance chores there, went to Delaware State University, got his degree, became president of Atlantic City Electric Company. He did this without a mom, without a father, but with a sister named Patricia who really cared about him and her other 9 siblings. That's my brother Kenny right there. He's going to be honored next week in Washington, D.C. at the French Embassy. I'm going to be there and celebrate him as a brother and a wonderful father. And I'm telling you, anyone that's within the sound of my voice, no matter what you're going through, no matter what the odds, if you commit yourself to becoming the person that you can be, and not talk about the adversity, but talk about the ability to rise above it, you can achieve anything in life. I firmly believe that. We don't need any more examples. We have examples throughout our community, throughout the African American community. We don't need any more examples. We need more people to, get up every morning and say, you know what? I'm going to do something today. I'm going to be a champion for my community today. I'm not going to sell drugs on the corner today. I'm not going to rob a person today. And for you, young woman, I know you have to get off to school, but I would love for you to read another poem.
Yes.
What's this one called?
My life.
Go for it. And say it nice and loud and slow, okay?
My life. One love, one life. Many fears, hard to fight. Many secrets, hard to tell. Dealing with each one of them is like hell. Puffy eyes, stuffy nose, weakness, pick a pose. Hiding, biting, scratching, kicking, slapping. Can't bear, just slacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. Hold up, count that all over again? It's so many can't count, just some things can't do without. Head spinning, twirling, wheeling and whirling. Puking, not eating, nor healthy, just burping. Always sad, mad, good, glad. Wait, crying is my main gag. Stressed, depressed, heart race like a 2-minute relay race. Can't breathe, need air, mouth to mouth, can't die right here, help me out. Blood, sweat, tears, swelling, not keeping it real, it's threatening. Can't keep my life like this, can't live my life like this. Every day of my life, gotta fight back. Stay strong, once again, on my own. Do it again. My life as a struggler, doing it again as a hustler. My life.
Love it.
Thank you.
Now, let me tell you something. To write about the hurt is great. It's therapeutic. It's cathartic. The next time I have you back here, I want you to come back in a couple months and have something about what's wonderful about your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because there's joy. You just got to look a little bit closer and find it. Man, to have a mom that calls up a reporter in the morning and say, hey, what about my daughter? My goodness. That made me feel so good today. I needed to hear that today. And most of us do. We need champions for our children. And if you're going to be that parent, you need to be that champion. Sometimes it doesn't even come in the form of a parent. Sometimes it comes in the form of just someone that takes you under their wing and loves and supports you. I'm going to tell you right now, stay away from the boys.
Yes.
Stay away from the sex.
Yes.
Save yourself. Because the last thing you need is to have a baby at a very young age. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. It's a conversation we need to have with our young daughters and our young men. Because I know what happens. Our young daughters have them, and our young men step away. And everybody's going to say, well, not my son. Listen, in most cases, the young boys step away. So I'm not afraid to say, you know what? Save that. Find out who you are in this life. Go chase your dream. Guys are always going to be around. But if you have a baby at a very young age, your life and all your dreams get put on hold. People don't want to say it. People shy away from the conversation. I'm going to tell you like it is. And a lot of people don't like it. But I'm going to tell you like it is. Save yourself. It's worth it. All right?
Yes.
Khadijah Bennett, thanks for stopping by. Love your poetry. Going to have you back at the end of the summer.
Yes.
I want to hear some happy times.
Okay.
Like, I got a mom who loves me to death.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. You take care of yourself. Get to school. Love that, boy. I love that. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Denise Taylor stepping in here. How are you, Denise?
I'm well, thank you.
It's great to see you. From Great Looks for Less, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. How you doing?
Doing well.
That's good. That's good. You're getting ready to be involved in an event on June the 10th, I believe, here in the city of Trenton?
We are.
At the Row Ristorante?
Yes.
Talk about it.
Yes. What we're going to do at Row on Sunday is take part in Caricature Hair Art Show. I'm the owner of Great Looks Hair Salon located in Mercer Mall. And basically what we're doing, we're providing 4 of our stylists to do 4 models. And avant-garde styles, something that you probably wouldn't wear on the streets in Trenton.
Mm-hmm.
So we are participating in that with themes of rainforest, futuristic look, as well as an international look. So our stylists are going to do up the hairstyles of these models in very high up avant-garde styles.
Check that out. Definitely not something you'll see on the streets of Trenton.
No. So these are pictures from last year, and that was our first year of taking part in this. And this is a nonprofit organization that has partnered with Capitol Health Center, and the donations are going to be providing women that are going through cancer treatment that have hair loss, and will provide free wigs for these women.
Joey Cogan's getting some of these photos up. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Growing my hair.
Yeah. We'll save that, Joe. Yeah, I'm sure they can hook you up with something though. So this is for the Cancer Foundation, right?
Yes, for hair.
The Capitol Health Foundation.
Yes.
It's amazing. You know, I met Denise out in the parking lot and brought her in when we were talking about cancer, and it's amazing how cancer touches so many people's lives. Everyone knows someone who is struggling with cancer. Especially women with breast cancer. I was telling Denise about my sister, Denise, who last year had a double mastectomy and reconstruction. And I went to see her about 2 months ago, and I'm waiting, and she's upstairs. And, of course, my visit was unexpected. But, man, it's taking her like 20, 30 minutes to come downstairs. I'm like, when is she going to come down? And she came down, and she screamed, "I have hair." And it was just it was such a powerful moment. Because she had gone through chemotherapy, had lost all of her hair, and some of it was just coming back. It was curly and brown, I remember, and it was just a wonderful sight to see. And then Denise was talking about you run in the marathon in New York City for cancer.
I will be. This is my 4th New York City Marathon coming up this November, and I'm running with a team called Fred's Team for Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Hospital in New York, and I'm running to raise funds for research there. My goal is $6,000. I ran it 5 years ago for the same team as well. My mother was going through treatment at that time for breast cancer as well. My mother-in-law has been affected, and I lost a dear friend that had started with breast cancer as well. So hopefully this year I can raise the $6,000, if not more, and it'll go to cancer research for Memorial Sloan Kettering.
I'll tell you something. It's so cool to see people give up their time or give their time to help other people. That's what it's going to take to beat this disease, to get victories in so many other aspects of our lives here, especially in the city of Trenton and the Mercer County area. I'm always finding people in the Mercer County area that are willing to make that sacrifice. Listen, I know that I could do it, but I don't think that I could do 26.2 miles. So how do you get ready for that? That's a lot of preparation.
I'm a runner year-round, so I'm just upping my time that I'm going out and doing my daily runs, and trying to raise the money as well. So looking forward to it.
What kind of time do you do?
My PR, the last marathon, was 4 hours and 10 minutes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's pretty cool. And so you run every day or every other day?
I run about 4 to 5 days a week.
Sweet stuff. Sweet stuff. So on June 10th, 6 o'clock at Row Ristorante, Caricature is hosting an event along with Capitol Health Foundation to raise money for cancer research and wigs, right?
Wigs,
right? And wigs.
Free wigs for women going through treatment.
You know what? It's just I know the struggle. There's a struggle. There's a real struggle here, and there's an uncertainty for people that suffer through breast cancer and cancer in general. We need to learn to live our lives day to day, and it's those celebrations of daily lifestyles that mean the most in our lives. A friend of mine just lost his brother yesterday, and it was so unexpected. We need to get to this point in our lives that we realize that we leave in moments. The phone rings and someone has passed away in whatever fashion. We need to start living in the moment and for the moment and start doing things for other people and that's the benefit of living our lives. There's no other reason to live our lives. If you're not doing something during the course of your day that helps other people, then you're not really celebrating this life. We have so much. I mean, and it's those people that have so much and are willing to give some of that away that makes our lives even more special, makes our time on this earth more enjoyable. Our lives, really, when you think about it, think about the billions of years that the earth has been around. We are just this small moment in time, and I want to leave my mark. And for people, generations later on, to say, you know, Denise Taylor ran to help somebody else's life is important. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm getting all emotional here, but maybe that's where I should be today. So Denise Taylor, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
You got it. Yolanda, I can breathe easy now. I'm through the more difficult part of the show. Listen, it's tough out there. There's a lot of people suffering. Whether you're a young girl and you're missing your father, whether you're a hair salon owner who's contributing great time and energy to helping other people with something as simple as needing a wig. There's a struggle out there. Yolanda Robinson, Trenton African American Pride Festival, one of my wonderful events that goes on here in the city of Trenton. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, LA. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I know you're handling the film festival part of the Trenton African American Pride Festival, August 12th through the 18th this year.
Yes.
Let's talk about the festival a little bit. We're doing something a little bit differently this year.
Yeah.
It's not a one-day celebration. It's a week of events that in the early part of the week we're trying to help people deal with things like credit issues and father issues and domestic violence issues and some other things that are bullying, and we're going to try to help people improve their lives.
Yes,
we know that we got a lot of people's attention last year with the thousands of people that showed up for the event. Now we're trying to give them some information that's going to improve their lives.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the film festival, which is going to be 3 days. It's from the 14th through the 16th, and it's going to be held at the Mill Hill Playhouse.
Check that out.
So I'm excited about that because we're going to feature different films from local filmmakers, abroad filmmakers, African cartoons for the little kids. For the teens, we're going to be looking at documentaries to bring out, because we're going to do edutainment this year. We're going to do films that's going to provoke conversation. Like you said, more education, teaching them more about themselves and learning how to survive in this world. So I'm excited about that, LA. I'm excited about, I don't even know how I even got on this, but you keep saying I volunteered for it, but I'm going to run with that one. You know, because last year the event was such a success to where this year it was almost like, what can we do, you know, to add to our community, you know? And LA, I really want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you for allowing me to host it last year. This year I'm going to be sitting down, right?
No, we're putting you to work.
Okay.
We got a lot more stuff to do. We got about 10 weeks before the event, and we got a lot of things to get done. We got to raise some money and everything. But talk about the film. What kind of films are going to be showing?
We're going to be showing for the little kids between the ages, I guess, from maybe 1 to maybe 8. We're going to be showing African cartoons from over Africa, families, African families, you know, cartoons, because you know there's just a broad I should say big avenue for animation now, especially for African Americans. You know, years ago we didn't have many cartoons that we can look at. So we're going to be showing African cartoons, and we're going to be getting the kids involved in making their own film. We're going to do a short film for the little kids. We're going to have empowerment words, and we're going to record it.
Before you get away from the powerful words, let's talk about the N-word for a minute while I have you here. Where are you with the N-word? You know, Gwyneth Paltrow tweeted the other night, I guess she was at the Jay-Z, Kanye West concert in Paris. And I believe that, well, I know that the song of, the Jay-Z song is N-words in Paris. And she tweeted that they're in Paris for real.
Yeah.
And caught a lot of flack about it. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of African Americans and others knee-jerk reaction to a white person using the word.
Yeah.
But when we use the word, it's
okay.
okay. And I'm like, I'm not going for that. I don't use the word. No one could ever, none of my friends could ever accuse me of ever using the word. Now, if we're talking about the word as a topic, I
Yeah.
may put it in there, but I've never used it to call anyone it, to refer to anyone in that fashion. What's up with the N-word?
I think what's happening with the N-word is it's almost making it the new norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They've turned it into a slang word, because I was always taught that the N-word meant someone that was very ignorant, didn't know a whole lot. But now they're turning it into this cool word to where you can say the N-word and get away with it. You know what I mean? But then when you look at where it come from, it's like, why do you want to, glorify that word?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to bring more attention to a word that's always been used as a negative word? I mean, please don't call me the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to look at you like you're crazy.
Or the B word.
Or the B word. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I really don't agree with anyone just using the N-word as freely as they're using it. You know what I mean? Like, can we just bury it? Can we just, like, have a moment of silence for the word? You know what I mean?
I hate it. And listen,
know?
I hate the word.
Yeah.
And people that are trying to pass it on, well, if you put an A on it, then it means something. You put an AZ on it,
a
it means
Z.
something. Or man, please.
Knock it off. Let the word go. Let it just
We're
let it go.
We're trying to build some pride in this city.
Yes.
We don't need the N-word in this city. So I'm just
No.
tired of it. Gwyneth Paltrow, listen, I ain't mad at you. Listen, we have
Just say
too
you
many.
had a good time.
We have too
with
many
the
other people
fellas.
using the word. I think it's kind of cool that you're kicking back in Paris.
Yeah,
So.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, I wouldn't mind being there, but I don't think I would get on and say, yo, I was chilling with them. You know what I mean? Just say we were out having a good time and leave it at that.
I've been to Paris one time in my life. I suggested we all, everybody try to get there.
Let's have the African Pride in Africa next year.
Let me tell you something. A great Paris story is that I guess during the 60s and 70s, jazz was like such a big musical genre there that it was the ladies were attracted to if you played an instrument. So the brothers, of course, some of them started carrying around empty music cases.
Are you serious?
Hey.
What were you playing? What was your instrument? Was your case empty?
Listen, I ain't mad at you. Go for it if that's what you needed to do. But yeah, they were carrying around empty trumpet cases, and oh sure, it's a great story, great story. So August 12th to the 18th, Trenton African American Pride Festival. A lot's going to be going on. We still need volunteers for the event. We still need to do some fundraising for the event, and I need to get this message out to the mayor, Mayor Tony Mack. It's my job. I write columns. They pay me to write interesting columns about the city. Sometimes to criticize you fairly, but don't let my criticism stand in the way of you coming out and being supportive of this event. We need you on board for this event.
Yes, we do.
I still pray for your success. I want you to do a great job here, but I also want you to start listening to some suggestions that people are giving you. I think it's important that you turn away from some of the knuckleheads that you have been listening to and listen to the voice of reason. You moving away from this event doesn't improve the event. You know, there's a real problem in the city of Trenton, is that if you and I disagree about one thing, that means that we can't be together about some other initiative. Listen, I have disagreements with Joey Culkin, but he's still part of the team here. I have arguments with coworkers sometimes, but we're still part of the team. Listen, sometimes having an argument is good. All that pent up
discussion.
Yeah, all that pent up energy and anger, you get it all out. You say, well, okay, that's where you are. That's where we are. I'm glad we got it out in the open air. Let's start over. Trenton's got to be a place about starting over. It can't be about grudges that you've held for 20 or 30 years. For Mayor Tony Mack, it can't be about Doug Palmer. Doug Palmer's moved on.
So long ago.
But I'm going to say, I'm not impressed by your first 2 years. We've got some real issues in the city of Trenton that we need to talk about. Sit here for a minute because I want to talk about this event we have coming up on Saturday.
Oh, definitely.
6 o'clock at Columbus Park. We're raising the flag of about 36 different countries that we've identified of people that are living in the burg. And it's all symbolic. That's all it is. It doesn't mean a whole hill of beans or anything. But we want to raise them up and identify these people. But the real deal is that to bring these people together, and then we can have this conversation about some issues in the city of Trenton, particularly in the burg.
Definitely.
I wish that maybe Carlos Avila could come out of his office for a minute if he gets a minute. And let's talk about some issues in the burg, because there are some real issues in the burg.
Mm-hmm.
There's some real issues in South Trenton.
Yeah.
There's some real issues in our Latino community. Can let Carlos sit in there for 1 minute, will you? Carlos, sit in for. Do you mind? I'm sorry. I'm sorry of ambushing you, but you walked in, and let's take a look at some photos that Joey Culkin has taken along South Clinton. These are some of the issues, some of the photos he's taken. This is public drunkenness. This guy's just sitting around doing nothing the entire day, on stoops, on abandoned houses stoops. Fights that occurred during the course of a day. People drunk to the point that they look like they're dead.
These people need help.
But you know, I'm sure they came here for a better life.
There is a lot of issues, you know, not only in south or west or east, the whole city. There's many bad situations.
Food looks good. Go ahead. Look. There was a fight here, and you can see the blood on the sidewalk there. You know, I can drive down into the burg today, right now, and see guys on abandoned house stoops just sitting there, and you can go back hours later, and by then they're drinking and they're there.
Yeah, many people from the neighborhood been calling here actually to let us know about this situation. But what I do is, you know, send to the message to the police. They, you know, the neighborhood say that the police doesn't pay attention on what's going on right now there. Why? Because this kind of situation is no high risk for the other issues that happen in the city. So,
but unemployment.
I see police, you know, take care of the
But unemployment is a high risk thing, because if you're here and you're unemployed, you're not contributing anything to the community. In fact, you're going to be an issue. And I see these issues developing in the burg, whether it's drunkenness, public urination, whether it's trash being built up, trash thrown in the street. There are issues that are starting to escalate. I mean, look at this.
Exactly. You know, right now, you can see now, like in 4 or 5 years ago, old people from the Latino community, you see, you know, working, but probably the unemployment situation is showing this kind of situations in the city of Trenton.
Now, guess what? Now, a lot of these people that may be robbed, beaten up, and they're here illegally. They don't go to the police. They take what they get. If they work all week and on Friday they go to the bar and get drunk and leave, and people are waiting there to rob them and take every dime that they earn, and they don't have the power to be able to go to the police because they're here illegally, we've got a major issue. Because you know what? They become sitting ducks for people that want to take advantage of them.
So now my question is, you know, the question is right now, how we can help these people? Because if they don't have documents, if you don't have a document to apply for a job, you know, they are going to be in a situation that they are looking for something to do during the day. Plus, they don't have food. But
this guy is so knocked out. I mean, look at this. Now, guess what? This is only an assumption. Doesn't have health insurance, right? Goes to the hospital. Have to take care of them, right? Listen, all these different hospitals that say, "Oh, we're moving out of the city," because whatever reason they're going to give you, they're moving out of the city because they're tired of giving care to people that are uninsured, right? And then the federal government's going to drag their feet about giving them the money that they're going to get for taking care of the uninsured. That's why they're rushing out of Trenton. Trenton is under siege by a lot of people that are here illegally, don't have health insurance, you know, so they're rushing, so the hospitals are leaving town.
Yeah.
But listen, we've got to start giving the honest people, hardworking people protection here, or else they're going to become victims in the city of Trenton. But listen, this drunkenness, sometimes they go to the bar, and you know, Carlos, they pay $10, $12 for a beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
To have some woman come over and talk with them, or sit next to them,
I think
or touch them.
I think the people who pay $12 for a beer are the people who have a job and they have money. These people who are coming along in the parks and the sidewalk, they don't have a job, they don't have time, so that's why they, you know, bring the beers or liquor in the street, and they are, you know, coming along with other groups that dedicate to
$10 for a beer sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it?
It is. But you know what? They like to go to the bars because these kind of bars offers not only the beer but gross.
Yes.
Hanging around inside of the bar. So that's another situation that the city or authorities have to take care. And we've been talking about this issue for a long time, and nobody said nothing. Nobody do nothing.
Now listen, I was talking to Joey Culkin earlier about how a shortage of women kind of spurs the prostitution issue. Because if there's no women, if there's so many more men than women, right? Yeah. And there are, right? People are smart enough to say, you know what? Let's start busing in women. And so come payday on Friday, you see these vans pulling into the city and women being brought into the city to make money.
I know. And, you know, as a Spanish, I cross the South Clinton or South Broad Street. Always this kind of girls approach you, say, hey, I'm working. You need help or trying to offer that kind of job. If the police go undercover, they can take, you know, help in some way.
They have to. They have to
do something.
But we have to move on this because these communities cannot sustain this. They can't.
These photos and video are taken from you?
Joey Culkin.
Oh, Joey Culkin. The lady?
Friday,
okay.
This is, listen, this is an everyday experience.
But
I'm telling you, come Friday, like Joey says, come Friday, when they get paid, man, listen, it's no holds barred. It's no holds barred.
Okay.
In 45 minutes.
And so, listen, this is my big question. Where's the Latino leadership? I asked you yesterday, who do I go and talk to about this? And it's a short list. It's a short list.
Where is Manny Segura?
I don't know. Where's Juan Martinez? Is he around?
No.
Roberto Hernandez, is he around?
No, I didn't see that.
Do you listen? Because come Sunday, after we have our event on Sunday.
You were talking about Saturday. It's Sunday, right?
Sunday, after our event on Sunday, at 5 o'clock at Columbus Park, I'm going to request that I talk to every Latino leader and others.
We can come along, you know.
That we need to sit down and have a discussion. Because, listen, I'm living the Berg now. I see stuff all the time. It's time to move on this. Because, listen, and I'm not only asking the Latino leaders. I'm going to be talking to the mayor, Verlina Reynolds Jackson, everybody. Yeah. We need to move on this.
Verlina, she lives, I mean, she represents Trenton or East Trenton. She has to lead this gathering. They have to, you know, pay attention, dedicate time to organize not only individual, but associations, groups that they can come together and mention these kind of issues, or you know, come here.
Listen,
this is another.
If you're here
to come together.
If you're here illegally, I think I have a certain amount of leverage to make you do what I need you to do. Because listen, I'm going to say to you, listen, we don't accept public drunkenness here in the city of Trenton.
Yeah.
You're here illegally. You need to stop bringing attention to yourself.
Yeah.
We don't accept you guys people throwing trash into the streets. You know, listen, if you're here illegally, that's a different issue, right? We don't accept it. This is how we expect you to be here. Listen, you're here illegally, but this is what we expect of you.
But LA, I understand.
I'm gonna knock on your door and say, listen, clean up the trash, or else I'm gonna come back with ice, whatever lever. I'm sorry, we can't accept this in our neighborhoods.
We have to come together again and talk about these kind of issues. I believe the Latino community is a hard-working people.
So do I.
Believe me, the most of the people. These things,
So do
these
I.
photos, these kind of videos that you showed me, you can see it in different parts of the city lately. Before, we don't have probably the unemployment rate is affecting to the Latino community as well, even if they are legal or illegal. People who don't have documents.
But this is not.
It's
That's
going
not
to
an
be more hard.
excuse.
It's no excuse because,
Okay.
but it's part of the social problems.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's part of the social problem because if they don't have paper or driver license to apply for a job, that's going to be hard for them to find a job. They can't find a job. Now, we don't have to generalize this kind of situation, these kind of issues in the Latino community. As I tell you before, the Latino community is a hard-working people. I know that because many people who don't have paper, they are working right now. They clean the houses in Princeton.
I'm not gonna listen.
They work in the shop price.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. I agree
You agree
1,000%.
with that, right?
Of course I do. I always say that they're one of the hardest people that working people that I know. But that does not.
But you said that you are going to
But
knock the door and say, okay,
and listen,
I'm going to send the ICE.
No. This is what I'm saying. That if you're here illegally,
Let's try to help.
If you're here illegally,
Yeah.
these are the rules that we're playing by. And if you cannot maintain these rules and play by these rules, then we have to take a different avenue. I don't think it's right that people throw garbage in the street, no matter whether it's in the south, whether it's in Chambersburg or the North Ward.
Yeah, I'm being criticized also when reports from the police saying that somebody was driving without driving license, and then we check the status is illegal. How come you guys are driving and drinking at the same time? You remember, if you pay attention, you don't have papers. If you don't have a residence, if you don't have a green card, how come you go get a car, drive a car, and then you go to the bars and drink? So that's
an issue.
It's a high risk that you put in your feet if you do that kind of job.
So and also let's be honest about this. If you're here illegally, it's difficult to get insurance, car insurance.
Yeah.
And so, what, I should be taking it easy on you if you're drinking, driving without insurance, you hit somebody, you leave the scene, which happens in most of the cases. That's what happens. And so at some point, somebody's got to say, you know what? We're going to cut this out. We got to cut this out because it's putting at risk other people. Now, the hardworking people in Chambersburg, God bless you. But all you other clowns that are urinating, drunk on the street, throwing trash in the street, whatever you do, it's got to stop.
So what's your idea? Eventually, after we,
I'm gonna get everybody in the room and say, "Listen, this is what we expect of you. If you can't do it,
that's good.
Then that's too bad."
I support because if we come together and we focus the issues that we are right now facing in the city, we maybe get something better in the city.
Exactly, and the only way we get better is to admit that we have issues. Whether you're trying to fix addiction or any other problem, you have to admit, "Hey, I got a problem."
Yeah,
we got a problem, and so in the Berg, we got some problems. I'm willing to work on them.
Okay,
thank you. I'm sorry I ambushed you like that, but you were in. Yolanda, come back in. Let's wrap this up. Yolanda Robinson, thank you for sitting back, and thanks for getting up your seat for Carlos. He walked in, and listen, we have some important issues in the city, and not only in the Berg.
Yes.
If I was mayor, and I'm not running for mayor, so don't even go there with me yet. That's what all politicians say, right?
Yes.
At this point, I'm not running for mayor. But listen, let me tell you something. This is what I would do. The number one thing I would do if I was Mayor Tony Mack, I would get a friend with a bulldozer, and I would go down to Hampton Avenue, and I would knock down the property that I owe the tax money on. It's been there for 8 years. And then I would go and start talking about cleaning up Trenton. Take an entire day and help putting stuff in the trash bags and show that you care. We're poor, we're a broke city, but we don't have to be dirty.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Can't accept it. Can't accept it. All the trash that's laying around, all the weeds. Man, if you drive around the city of Trenton, you see weeds everywhere.
Growing out the sidewalk.
Everywhere.
Can I chime in on that
Go ahead.
piece?
Go ahead.
My thing is, now if I was running for mayor.
You're not running for mayor?
No, I'm not. But if I was,
I know a dozen people running for mayor.
I would make sure that the city was cleaned up also. I would get out here and have them cut down these trees that is hanging around these wires. All the tree limbs that are hanging over. I would give everybody a decent garbage can. Then make them use it with a garbage bag. Don't throw the trash in there without a garbage bag. You know what I mean? Clean up, sweep in front of your own house, paint your porch. You can go get some ooze paint from Home Depot or anywhere and throw some paint on it. Clean it, soap and water. If you don't have a lot of money, soap and water. Get the little old pieces of soap, run it over some water. Now you got a bucket of water. Now start the cleaning.
We need to get clean.
Clean.
Got to get clean.
Got to get clean.
And for anyone that has a cleanup initiative where you're going to clean up somebody else's property, please stop. It don't help.
It don't.
They watch you clean their front stoop and they say, man, life is great in America.
Great. Oh, wow. They done finally made it to my area. No. And then if you see the street sweeper don't come on your street, that means there's a bunch of people that's over there renting. You can still have them try to come on that street. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
If they don't come on that street, you can clean your own street.
All right, a couple things to look out for. Police Director Ralph Rivera making an appearance June 20th, Chambersburg Civic Association. 7 o'clock might be a good time to go over there and talk to him.
Yes.
Art All Night, June 16th to 17th, starting at 3 o'clock on June 16th till 3 o'clock on June 17th, Saturday and Sunday. What else? City of Angels Rock Fest, June 23rd at Mercer County Park. And Joey, what you got a telethon coming up?
24 hours of a telethon.
That's this weekend, right?
10 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday, Sunday at the Trenton Atelier.
So, listen, got to try to save this place, and to show up and contribute some time. A couple other things, at least one other thing. A stabbing on South Broad Street yesterday, believed to be between a garbage worker or a guy picking up garbage and someone from a bar. We're hearing that person may have perished in the stabbing. And keep your eyes and ears open for a story that's going to be breaking, some money missing from the City Democratic Committee. Like to see where all that leads. So, L.A. Parker, you're listening to Live with L.A. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the guests. Had a great time, great show. And go out and do something for someone today. And definitely go out and sweep in front of your place where you live. And that's all we're asking you to do. See you next week.